Eden Utilities can help your organisation to convert the energy it uses every day into a more sustainable source of supply. We are a professional, totally independent but friendly utility consultancy that can offer any organisation a way of converting its own waste into energy. This provides a number of beneficial rewards. So, if you already recycle items like plastics and paper, you could now use the rest of the waste your business creates to generate power for use back into your organisation. If you don't do any recycling yet, you could start now, without the need for any additional effort or large investment in time or cash to accommodate the initiative. Our Eden Infinity product provides your business with a way of not only helping the planet, but also saving you money. Your business creates waste. That waste is collected, and then we work with your energy supplier to ensure that the power generated from your waste is used to supply electricity back to you. In doing something like this, along with doing your bit to help save the planet and meeting your business's green targets, it provides great PR for your organisation, sending a very positive message to your suppliers, clients and stakeholders. It's something to be very proud of. At Eden Utilities, we pride ourselves on being unique with our continuous innovation, along with our ethos of providing a fully transparent pricing model to all our clients. Our personable approach means we always work with you to find the best for you. We regard ourselves as an extension of your business, a partner. Eden Utilities, your sustainability partner.
Unbelievable. I've just potentially a hit record and they've cocked up the sound. Can you believe it? Anyway, welcome to episode 9 of Talk of the Town, coming to you live from the Fast Science Pod here at the People's Pension Stadium, where the Reds will be taking on high-flying Cambridge United at 3 p.m. this afternoon. But before then, we will be bringing you all the updates from around the stadium this week. We'll have Erdem Konya here, going through the team news with me very shortly. John Yems will be swinging by. Sam Gadsden did a very good in-depth interview with Sam Ashton. Of course, there will be everybody's favourite higher or lower, and ex-Red media man Bruce Talbot will swing by to talk about his time at Crawley and what he is up to now. Of course, Gary Smith was here as well. We pre-recorded that, having a chat about what we can expect from Cambridge this afternoon. And finally, Kiosk Ken will be back with his deal of the week. Of course, you can get the game live on iFollow, free for season ticket holders or just £10 for non-season ticket holders. Hello to everybody who's joined us in Reds Bar this afternoon. I'm sure Rona is putting on a great hospitality for you guys in there. Good to have you back in the stadium, albeit not the right side of the wall in terms of as far as we're concerned. Ridiculous, everybody knows. But we don't talk politics here on Talk of the Town. We'll leave that to those donuts in Parliament. But for now, let's take a look back at the Reds battering Tranmere here 4-0 on Tuesday night.
Tranmere have failed to score on 5 occasions this season. Bizarre, given the quality of players in the lineup. Likes of James Vaughan and now Sam Smith, who should make a real difference to this side. But it's Crawley making a break here down the right-hand side. Early delivery into the box from Nichols. Drops for a shot from Powell, and he's not too far away. Can they hook in the rebounds? It's just gone wide. Right start from the home side. This was some hit from Jack Powell. Waters not too far away. Doherty. No pressure, just plays the ball forwards. Really quite happy to knock the ball around. To get back to winning ways after the games against Salford and Exeter. They're a good footballing side, as they're showing here. It's Powell. Allowed to play it through the channel. Waters with a chance again on goal. And at the third time of asking in this game, Waters opens the scoring. Just 13 minutes gone. Good first touch here, bought him the room to get the shot away. A shot there. Tranmere trying to hit the strikers early. Crawley quite happy to deal with that at the back, and here comes Hesketh. Southampton loanee allowed to come forward and find Nichols. Nichols into the area, and there's goal 2. 21 minutes on the clock. Crawley 2, Tranmere 0. Nichols with his 3rd of the season. Shouldn't have been allowed to come in here onto his right foot. Swift feet though. And then just a pass into that far corner. Fantastic start in this game by Crawley. And they've won a corner on the far side. Nichols running the channels. Crawley corner, comes in low. Opportunity for Frankham, doesn't get the hit he's looking for there. Still alive here, and Frankham picks up. Delivers into an area, it's 3-0. Just 24 minutes gone. And Tunnicliffe with the leap and the header to make it 3-0. 2 waiting at the far post, and it's Tunnicliffe who meets it. Crawley quite happy in this second period to slow the game down. Sitting on this 3-goal advantage, cleared away here by Morris. Instantly causing some problems for this Tranmere back line. Nichols That's not too far away from Matthews there. You can see Tranmere trying to hit Smith on every occasion. Hasn't quite worked out that tactic. Crawley into the penalty area again. Might be a chance for 4 here. And it is. It's the substitute Tyler Frost with an easy finish into the far corner. Crawley 4, Tranmere 0. Excellent build-up play. And then a lucky deflection to see it head out towards Frost. Smith, the obvious target. Actually came in towards Nelson. Crawley should clear away. And they'll go chasing forwards, looking for goal 5. A good opportunity to do that as well. Is this number 5? No. Fierce drive and a lovely break. Oh, there's the final whistle. Crawley really did the damage in the first 24 minutes of this game.
Yes, we're back, and I'm joined now by Technical Director Erdem Konya. Before we have a chat with Erdem, let's go through today's lineup. It's an unchanged starting 11. So Morris starts in goal, George Frankham, Tony Craig, Jordan Tunnicliffe and Josh Doherty make up the back 4. Jake Hessenthaler, Jack Powell, Jake Hesketh and Sam Matthews in midfield, with Tom Nichols and Max Watters starting up front. Only one change on the bench as Ashley Naderson comes in for Taran Alarakia. So the bench is Tom McGill, Joe McNerney, Alfie Davis, Ashley Naderson, Sam Ashford, Tyler Frost and Brian Gallack. Erdem, unchanged side once again. Look, but obviously after a great performance on Tuesday night, that was probably inevitable, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a consistent 11. The last 4 games in my 5-6 years here, I've seen a consistently high performance, whereas before we've performed well and then dropped off a little bit. So hopefully we can carry on with that consistency all throughout the season. And it's good for the other lads as well, because everyone knows that, you know, if they get a chance, they got to fight to keep that shirt.
Because I suppose even in the games where the games last week, the away games where we didn't win the game, we got a point at Salford and lost at Exeter, the performance actually was still pretty good. It wasn't like a dire performance that made us drop points. It was pretty good.
I mean, to come away from Exeter feeling the way we did, it was a feeling of we've just lost 3 points, and that's the player finalists. So that's a compliment and a testament to the team, to the management for everything that they've done to get us playing in a certain way with a great endeavour and effort all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose looking at the week ahead, we obviously have Cambridge today who are doing very well. We go away to Walsall on Tuesday night, then a big FA Cup game down in Torquay. Like the games are coming thick and fast, aren't they?
Yeah, the games are coming thick and fast. And when you look at the fixture list, there's no easy game. Like, you know, pre-season, you just look at Morecambe going, is that one of the easier games? But they were top of the league when we played them. And to be fair to them, they're grafting, they're playing well. Every team is a test this year. Every game is a final, and it's about how we apply ourselves. And we just got to keep giving everything we've got in every game, and hopefully we carry on building.
And one thing that I only really noticed this afternoon was how many goals have come in from throughout the squad. So I think we've had 8 different goal scorers in the league already, which is probably something we've not really had. Last year, early in the season, we were quite reliant on Bez's goal. Then we were sort of relying on Ollie Palmer's goal. And people worried, we've lost so many goals in 2 players. But actually, so far, so good, we've replaced them with goals throughout the squad. Yeah,
to be honest with you, in all our discussions in pre-season, the gaffer always said that there'll be a lot of goals from midfield. He said it's not just about the strikers. That's the way, the way the gaffer has his philosophy, and we've talked about it, a lot of goals expected from the midfield and the defence as well. And that's the way he wants us to play. And I think and it's showing, the proof's in the pudding once again. And hopefully we can carry on. Like George Frankham scoring 3 from a right-back position is a fantastic achievement for George, and George has really come on this season, and he's a skipper, and he's leading by example.
Yeah, absolutely, and like this is probably one of the strongest benches we've had certainly this season. Like looking at the attacking players, Frost is obviously come on and scored on Tuesday night. Sam Ashford's come on and done well the last few weeks. Ashley Nadesan comes back on the bench. Like there's a lot of firepower, a lot of people there who can change the game.
Well, Tyler's already got 2 goals and 1 assist in the EFL, so for him to be benched in them first 6 games with 2 goals and 1 assist, it shows that the lads that are playing, obviously they're doing very well. And I'm particularly excited to see what Jake Hesketh is going to do today as well. Not just pinpoint one player, but in the sense that he's getting fitter. I think it's his second or third start today now, back to back. So that's going to be massive for us. And I'm really, really delighted to have this group, and the intensity that we're playing with is phenomenal.
And looking off the pitch, obviously we're going to bring in John very shortly. But looking off the pitch, we've got people in Reds today, which a lot of people think is absolutely crazy, because you can have people literally just through the corridor here drinking and watching the game that's happening the other side of the wall. But I suppose looking at what we can do, what we're allowed to do, it's good to have at least some people back.
Look, it's not the same without fans. You know, like when you're in the stadium, I mean, for me, you know, you look to your left and right during the game and you see the facial reactions and even the little connections you got with a few people. You miss them, and you miss the 12th man. Yes, it's an abnormal situation. I think it's an abnormal situation for the world. We can talk about this forever, but the most important thing is that we don't lose any fans, and we're ever grateful for the fans. It's a shame that they're just on the other side of the wall, but it's a start at least. Obviously, with the news last night, or the rumours that we're going into a further lockdown, it seems that we're getting further away from getting the fans in. But hopefully, you know, with the grace of God, we survive financially. We get through this pandemic globally, and hopefully, you know, soon the fans will back in, and our army will be one again.
And I know finally you come in and you said about you really like the badges, the Crawley badge with the poppy, and obviously we're selling those in the club shop for the British Legion at £5.
I just thought it's very important to note, like, you know, this is a generation that sacrificed for us to be here today. And for us, you know, if we're breathing, it's due to them, and it's important that we note that, and we can't forget that. And that's why I wanted to just say that, because it was something I thought about on the way today, and I think it's very important, these type of things, and we can't forget this. And it's important that whoever's here, whatever nationality, wherever you are, that you respect and remember these people that sacrificed their lives for the where we breathe today.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
For our lives
and
today.
obviously we are putting that in the club shop. They're
Yes.
£5 in the club shop, or you can get them from the British Legion website. Odin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to bring the gaffer. So if you want to swap over, whilst we're doing that, let's just run through that starting 11 for you. So we've got Glenn Morris in goal, George Frankham, Tony Craig, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Josh Dougherty, Jake Hessenthaler, Jack Powell, Jake Hesketh, Sam Matthews, Tom Nichols, and Max Watters make up the starting 11. John, thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
Mate. Yeah, all good, thank you.
Yes, good week.
Sun's come out.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's beaming down on us. But there you go, it's been absolutely chucking it down. We did have a pitch inspection. I don't know, was you talking to the referee?
Yeah,
What was he saying?
referee. He said it's wet. I said, well, it is October. We ain't in the Caribbean or the Sahara. What do you expect it to be?
Yeah,
So it's on.
we could see him doing it. I told it's on, and to be fair, Ben and Tom and everyone at Complete Turf Care have done an unbelievable job on the pitch. So that's good. Yeah, I spoke to John earlier on, and he was saying it'd be good to get some questions from the fans in Reds.
Yeah.
So I've been round to Reds, and I've got a couple of questions. First question here it says, what would you say, this is your opinion, is a success on the field? So obviously we talk about survival off the field. What would you say this season would be success on the field?
I would say it's the same. I said it right from the beginning of the season. You know, you hear all stories all going through the pre-season about clubs folding, players being on absolute fortunes, and then there's so many out of work. Then you've got this one. Listen, obviously you want to finish as high as you can, and you want to. And I'm a believer that you wind up where you deserve to be, and I think Crawley's now, I think it's their 10th year of Football League. If you sustain your status in that, we've slashed the budget, as you know, massively. And you know, the players that we've got playing now, I think if you're given a bit of time, you might have a good side. You know, that be proud, that the fans would be proud of. I think they'd know that if they was here.
And I think sort of like on what you're saying, someone described it to me as like a football club is a bit like a ship, and we obviously got relegated going way back from League One, and we always sort of bumbling around the bottom of Division 2, and it seems that we've sort of been able to turn the ship, and the ship's not necessarily flying forward, but we're going in the right direction.
As long as, I'll tell you, if you're describing it as a ship, then I'll be happy for it stays afloat.
Yeah,
That's
well, there you go.
The first thing, you know, don't worry about anything else, steering it where you go. But no, you know, it is what it is, and as I say to you, we've attracted some good players in the summer, and you're not silly enough to know that some of them may be sold, some of them don't want to be sold, but it is what it is. Let's just enjoy the games while you can, and whatever it takes you, it takes you.
And that sort of follows me onto a question from Stuart round in Reds. He said, is there any chance of anyone else coming in to add for the squad, or are we settled now and just looking at playing games?
You're always looking to strengthen, and there is one or two that may be coming in after Christmas. Obviously when the window opens, there's a couple of others that we've had on trial. Well, I wouldn't say trial, I don't do trials, they come down and train with us so we can get a look at them and they can get a look at us. Yeah, you're always looking to improve. As soon as you stop doing that, I think that's when you start believing your own chip paper, and next thing you know, you're looking over and your ship might lose a sail.
Yeah. I love the boat analogies. There could be some chance for some boat merchandise here, I'm thinking. Yeah. I have seen a few images of HMS Yems.
Oh, there you go. HMS. Rather than HMP.
Yeah, we won't go into that. Whole different story. Another question was from Kevin. He asked that there are no fans in the ground. We've touched upon it before, but he said, do you think that's having a positive or a negative effect on the players?
All I said, as I said the other day, it's very difficult to know what an home game is and what an away game is, except that you're travelling a lot longer. But no, listen, you've got to make your own atmosphere. I think if we would have said this 5-6 months ago that you was out there playing, you would have took it. I think everybody thought, including ourselves, that the fans would be in by now, but they're not. And like I say to you, you're at home, and like I say, it's just a travelling. To me, it's a game of football, and you just look around and you imagine the fans are here anyway, you know. And it's a shame because, you know, everyone keeps telling us how well we're playing, and it's a shame that the fans couldn't see it. But maybe that might be helping us play well. You just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And we won't go into specifics. I had a couple of people ask, "Well, where's this player? Where's this player? Where's this player?"
Ask if you want to ask. I'll tell you.
Okay. So Jason asked about David Cisse, and he's not really featured very much.
No, he hasn't featured very much because he hasn't been. We've got players in there now. We haven't got a team. We've got a squad. Cisse's in the squad, and he's waiting his chance. We've got a few friendlies coming up. It's just that the schedule at the minute is just crazy, and I think we've sailed around the world a couple of times in your boat. I think the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot more sailing to come.
And then the other one was Jack asked about. Paul asked about Tom Dallison. I suppose really competitive at centre half.
Yeah, same as Tom's waiting his chance. They keep him fit. You can only pick 2 of them. Sometimes we pick 3 of them. You know, we're going to change it a little bit, but no, Tom. They know. You know, they know. The boys know the rules. They're working hard. They just keep working hard. It is difficult, but that's why it's a squad game. You know, you just don't know when you're going to be called upon. So you've got to make sure you're fit enough, ready to come in if need be.
Yeah, and the last one isn't a question. But Ian asked me to pass on a message to you. He said, if we win today, please go round to Reds. He'd love to buy you a beer.
If we win today, you can buy me 2 tots of rum in your boat.
In a boat, yeah.
And we can go round there, and I'll drop me anchor there for an hour or so. There you go.
John, thank you very much. I'll let you set sail back over to the dugout.
Over to my lifeboat.
Somebody who is helping us stay afloat is the People's Pension. So let's have a look about an advert from the People's Pension.
Since 2017, £30 million has been lost to pension scammers. That's about 26,000 Premier League season tickets. Your pension is a target. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to defend your hard-earned money. Be on the ball to anyone contacting you out of the blue, promising a richer retirement in a few simple steps. If the offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. These red flags will help you spot foul play. Being offered a free pension review, being promised high and guaranteed returns, being offered cash from your pension before you're 55 with no warning of tax penalties? Find out more about pension scams and how to avoid them at www.thepeoplespension.co.uk/pension scams.
Hello again, Reds fans. I'm back again with Sam Ashford. We got you to send in some questions for the main man. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. CTFC fan asks, what surprised you most about league football?
Good question. Probably the start, the first 2 to 3 weeks when I sort of transitioned into full-time football, the impact it had on my body. I think I wasn't quite expecting how hard it would be and how horrible my body felt, but slowly it's been like adjusting and it's got better. But yeah, the start physically, so that was probably the hardest thing.
Mark wants your thoughts on your FIFA rating.
I don't actually know my FIFA rating.
I think it's 56.
56?
Yeah.
We'll take it. Hey, first time on FIFA, we'll take a 56. Better than some, I think, isn't it? Or
yeah,
no, is that the
yeah,
lowest?
no, I don't think you're the lowest, but
we'll take that.
It's one of. But let's be honest, you play a bit of FIFA.
Yes.
Have you done a Crawley career mode?
I haven't done a Crawley career mode yet. No. I do need to jump on that. I'll take them all the way.
Yeah?
Easily done.
Are you sticking yourself in the first team?
put myself ahead of Tommy Nichols.
Whoa! Yeah, but you're a left winger on FIFA.
Yeah, no, I'll probably put myself. You know what? Whatever the best team is, if I'm on the bench, I'm on the bench.
You're 1 to 11.
Yeah, now go for it.
No, I'm not doing that. That's so out of order. You're not picking a 1 to 11. I'm not doing that.
No,
because there's certain people I might change about, and that's like.
Yeah, but we're talking bench.
You're off the team, mate.
We move on. Matthew asks what it's like playing in the English Football League. It's a similar question.
I think it's hard at the moment because there's no fans. I haven't really got like a real sense of it, but it's been like brilliant seeing how much exposure and how much more serious it's taken, and just generally. Obviously, I've only made like 1 starting appearance, but I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. And like I said, it's just a shame that there's no fans to sort of get behind and experience that. But yeah, it's been good.
Paul asked, how did it feel when you scored that goal on your debut against Millwall in the Carabao Cup?
That was bloody good. Again, probably would have been nicer with some fans, but yeah, always nice to nick a goal early on and sort of settle things down.
Liam has asked, what's helped you settle in so far and how have you adapted to life in the Football League?
Yeah, probably some of the boys. Obviously, I live with Tommy Nichols and Jordan Tunnicliffe, and I did for a little bit Sam Matthews as well, and they've helped me massively. So I'd say the boys, and then also some of the staff, like asking them like what I could work on and what I need to improve on, and things I could work harder on. So generally, the staff and the players have made it a lot easier to transition over.
Just reference on that one, Tom Nichols is sat behind the camera, so if you heard some coughing then that's where it's coming from. Andy has asked, what are the main differences from non-league to the English Football League?
Probably everything just a little bit more. So like sharpness, physicality, tactically, just everything just a little bit more. There are probably players in non-league who could step up, but just generally I think every little attribute, everything's a little bit harder. So I couldn't just pinpoint one thing's harder, but generally everything. So yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah. Ryan has asked, what's it like playing under John Yems?
What a guy. Great gaffer. To be fair, I thought he would come across like super strict and really like uptight, but he's always joking and he's been really, really good with me, and obviously other players as well who he's brought in, and they're thriving under him. So for me, like I said, positive things.
Good. Steve's done a bit of research about you.
Oh, no.
He's put, what was it like playing for the England C setup?
Oh, no, that was quality. That was out of the blue. I didn't actually know they were picking people. They would normally do like National South upwards, and for one time they just went to Ryman North and Ryman Prem, which are two below, and they selected a few, and I got picked for that. And yeah, going over to the Falkland Islands was a mad experience in itself. Obviously, like a big history there. And putting an England kit on, I know it's obviously not like the first team level with England, but still putting on England kit was very cool. And out there we were like celebrities, so yeah, unbelievable experience.
Phil has asked, so far, what is the highlight of your career? Would that be it, England siege, you think? Or?
Yeah, and signing here. Like, obviously, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but for me, when I got the opportunity to come down and even making my debut against Millwall.
Yeah, competitive debut against Millwall, yeah.
Little things like that, like, I would have never dreamt of. Obviously, 2 years ago, I was playing in the Ryman North for Whittam Town, who are struggling in a relegation. So, yeah, for me, just sort of taking it how it comes. But I just keep hitting like new career highs as it was. But yeah, I couldn't say specifically, but Crawley's been one of them.
Final question I've got written down. What are your career aspirations from here on in? It's a very tough question, that.
Yeah, it's tough. Be the hardest working player in any team that I go to, and
good answer.
Play as high as I can.
Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds, but as long as I keep working hard and want to achieve what I want to achieve, obviously, just see where it goes. So, but at the moment, just focusing on trying to be the best player I can at Crawley.
Cool. Obviously, we've got a small studio audience. Tom, do you want to throw out any more questions while you're there?
What's the favourite ground you've played at time?
Oh, that's a good question.
I actually played at MK Dons Stadium. I wouldn't know the name.
Stadium MK, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There you go. But that stadium was unbelievable. I'm not quite like Tommy Nichols. He's been about in a few stadiums, but for me, that was a joke of a stadium. I couldn't believe they were League One.
Yeah.
The stadium was unreal. So yeah, for me, probably playing there.
What's the favourite thing a fan has ever shouted at you during a game?
A favourite thing? No, just singing. You know what? Just singing my name. Like there was a song.
What was the song?
No, just real simple. I think it was like just Sammy Ashford or something. I can't remember.
What, just your name? That was it.
Yeah, but I just obviously one of the simple ones. I had a tune to it, but I've forgotten it. I can't remember. You put me on the spot right now.
Well, you are getting interviewed, mate.
No, it's not coming to me.
He knows it. He's just got.
No, honestly, it's not coming to me. I've just got for some reason. No, I got a different song stuck in my head, and that's not it. But yeah, anything like just having a few hundred fans sing my name was a bit surreal. Again, coming from 30, 40 fans in the Essex Senior League, where you got John and Tom with their dog who come and then to go, like I said, in front of people who generally have a bit more of an atmosphere. And yeah, so for me, anything that's positive. I've had some negative abuse, but anything that's positive has been good.
It would be good to get the Reds fans back in the stadium as soon as possible to get chanting your name again,
nice.
Get a brand new chant. I think that's all we've got time for. Sam, thanks for joining me.
Brilliant.
See you next time.
By a face that will be very familiar to Red fans up and down the country, because I'm sure they're spread out. Bruce Talbot. Bruce, thank you for joining us on Talk of the Town.
Pleasure, Joe.
Very professional setup.
Amazingly professional, yeah. Yeah, really good and fantastic. Was it 9 episodes you've done now?
9 episodes.
Really good, especially like I think we were just talking, to do these away from home as well. So I know what some of these grounds are like and some of the people who work at them. Not very welcoming some of the time, but yeah, brilliant.
And obviously you left us last season and moved on to Brighton. Tell us about what you're doing at Brighton and how that's going.
It's going fine. Nearly a year actually since I left the club. It's December last year. It's gone really quickly. Just working in the media department, all sorts of stuff. What I did here, but in the Premier League really. Enjoyable. Do a lot of the women's games as well here, so I'm back here fairly frequently.
Obviously here today, looking at a couple of the guys.
Tom McGill.
Tom McGill, yeah.
So no, it's going well. Obviously, like everyone, it's very strange times. Need fans back desperately. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't think it will happen this season myself, but we live in hope, don't we?
Yeah, fingers crossed. And like we got you on today really because we thought there's 10 years worth of good content that you could tell us about. Obviously, I think Steve Evans must have been your first manager.
He was,
and then you saw it all right up. I think you left just after John had come in.
I left about a week after John arrived. Yeah, just having a chat with him.
Yeah. So obviously Steve Evans, interesting character, but did an unbelievable job here, didn't he?
Well, he did. you know, got the club in the Football League, that fantastic FA Cup run. I mean, what's that? You were mentioning it earlier, 10 years now in the Football League. I mean, you've supported Crawley a long time, Joe. You were at Townmead in the old days. I mean, if someone had said to you back then, you know, Crawley, you know, you can say now Crawley are an established Football League club. We stayed in League Two in the last 5 or 6 years quite comfortably. Looks like we're going to have another good season this year. In fact, you know, I think having seen a few of the games, that we've got a chance of getting into the playoffs. But so yeah, the club's building and improving. But yeah, it's difficult. You know, you talk about managers, you talk about Steve. I mean, you know, Steve could be a bit fiery sometimes, as we all know, and he could be a bit fiery with me on occasion. But actually, you know, in the last few years when I've seen him, when he came back here with a couple of the clubs, he's been as nice as pie. I think he's mellowed a little bit. I think he's calmed down a bit. Though I did see on the highlights last Saturday, he almost looked like he was trying to get on the pitch to stop one of the opposition players at Gillingham, but maybe he's not calmed down that much.
Looking at other managers, obviously I don't know how many managers. It must be near on 10 managers. So you during your
Probably
time
more
here,
than that,
yeah.
with you know, with sort of, you know, people like Sean O'Driscoll, who was only here for a few months, and caretakers. I mean, Martin Hinchwood had a spell doing it. Gary Alexander, if you remember, did it for a little while. So all different. You know, some were more difficult to sort of get on with than others, and you form a better personal relationship with some managers. But that's what you do in any walk of life, in any job, isn't it? So, you know, with you and your sponsors, you know, some sponsors you probably get on a bit better with than other sponsors. But
all my sponsors,
I know they're all fantastic, yeah. But but yeah, it you know, as I say, some of them, I'm not really in touch with too many still. I mean, I still now and again talk to Richie Barker. He's probably the one manager that I sort of got on with certainly as well as anyone, you know. Funnily enough, I texted him a few weeks ago because his son's just got a contract at Charlton. And I remember him actually playing cricket for my team on a Sunday a few years ago, only a young lad. And Richie was saying he can't decide between cricket and football, you know, whether he was as good as both. Really? He could have, you know, potentially gone into the county set up at Sussex and then ended up at Charlton and is doing fantastically well. But
I remember when Richie left, he sort of, I think he made a comment when he was here about how we won't realise how good he is until he's gone. And I suppose there was an element of truth in that, I suppose.
Well, when you think about, you know, those couple of years that Richie was here, I mean, we were established in League One, weren't we? We were winning at places like Preston and Doncaster and all these, you know, big clubs, and unheard of for Crawley to go to Deepdale and win 2-0 and play well and win comfortably. And I think there is an element of that with Richie. I think, you know, there was a little bit of a, I don't know, I think you know, reaction to one or two. We weren't getting hammered every week. I think it was the sequence of results that lost Richie's job was 2 or 3 0-0 draws. So, yeah, he could probably feel a little bit hard done by Richie, I think. But you know, they've all. I mean, John Gregory I thought John did a good job because when he came in, his budget was cut, so he was shopping in a different supermarket to the, you know, when we were with Steve and Richie Barker. And then Dean Saunders, you know, I like Dean. I thought he almost kept us up. Yeah. I mean, you know, some of the players he signed on first, you know, you first think, crikey, where's he come from? I'm trying to think.
Lee Fowler,
Lee Fowler. And what a player he turned out to be. You know, we were 20 minutes away from staying in League One, which would have been miraculous, bearing in mind the situation when he took over. And then it was difficult for Mark Yates. It was difficult for Dermot. You know, I thought Harry Cure was probably on the verge of doing something, of the club really moving forward, and then he obviously left to go to Notts County. But you know, John's local, and you know, I've seen a few of the games this season. I mean, the performance on Tuesday night was outstanding. I can't remember a better Crawley performance for a long time. You know, moved the ball quickly, scored goals. Yeah, solid at the back.
I was gonna say about that actually, and sort of end on like what John is doing at the club and. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier on, you think, we could make the playoffs, and I suppose you think that's realistic.
Well, I mean, you know, you obviously see more games than me. You've seen more teams this season, but I just don't think there's an outstanding team in this league. I think today will be a good test because Cambridge are obviously up there. They're scoring a lot of goals, but I don't see a sort of Plymouth or an Oxford from recent years. You know, a really outstanding side, or a Swindon. So yeah, why not? Strange circumstances, no crowd. So you know, we're going to some places where normally there would be quite a hostile atmosphere, where there isn't at the moment. So hopefully that might help us improve the away form, and the home form, as we know, for the last year has been outstanding.
Bruce, thank you very much for coming. You're going to stick around for higher or lower? I know you're very excited about that.
Absolutely, that's the only reason I've come.
And Tom, the reigning champ, is here. He's just entered. He looks composed, and
well, he's got his tracksuit on and everything. He looks like he's well prepared for it.
Definition of all the gear, no idea, I would suggest, Bruce. But we'll bring Tom in very shortly. But first, earlier on, I caught up with BBC Radio Sussex commentator Gary Smith to get his view on the week just gone, today's game, and what he's expected. I'd like to say I'm joined once again by BBC Radio Sussex commentator Gary Smith. Gary, thank you very much for joining us. Your 101st game today. We'll acknowledge it. We'll acknowledge. Unbelievable performance on Tuesday night. I think a lot of people were confident going into the game. I don't think anyone really saw us winning as comfortably as we did.
No, it was a fantastic start, wasn't it, Joe? And I think that Crawley are going to have to make a very similar start here today against what's obviously a very good Cambridge United side. But yeah, we absolutely blew Tranmere away. And I think, as you say, it took everybody by surprise. Certainly us up in the commentary box got the first goal and thought, right, okay, something to build on. Then suddenly, bang, bang, it was 3-0 within 25 minutes or so. And I think it was 3 goals in 11 minutes, wasn't it, from the time the first goal went in to the third goal went in. Interestingly, after the game, I said to John, what pleased you more, the first half against Tranmere or the second half against Morecambe? And he said, interestingly, the second half against Tranmere, because they didn't allow Tranmere back into the game at any stage.
This was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
My next point was that at half-time I started hearing it's dangerous in a way at 3-0 because a lot of people were looking at the game's over.
Yeah.
But actually it's not. We've seen it. Obviously, like the most famous one would be Liverpool against AC Milan. But we have seen teams come back. But we never let them in the game, did we? We completely, and John's right, we saw the game out actually added to the tally. But defensively very solid.
Absolutely. And I think that comes from what we've spoken about before, Joe, and the fact that if you can continually pick that solid back five, including Glenn and the back four, which is the same again today, and, unsurprisingly, an unchanged side, then that's a great foundation to build on, isn't it? You can interchange the players around in midfield or up front or wherever, but if you've got that back five to call on, Glenn's only conceded 1 goal, or the side have only conceded 1 goal here at home in the league so far this season, which was the equaliser against Southend. And I think that speaks volumes for the way that back five are playing at the moment.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season, a lot of the talk from sort of like myself and some of the people in the office was we're excited about our core, if you like, at the back. We did look good. But one of the things that almost surprised me, and maybe a lot of people, was that the amount of people who are scoring goals in the side. I mean, we've got 8 different goal scorers already this season, and a number of those with multiple goals. George Frankham, Watters, Nichols all scored multiple goals. And do you think that's really been the big difference this year? We seem to have a nice blend of solid at the back, but also attacking flair as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the likes of Sam Matthews has been great in the last couple of games as well, really showing what he can do when he gets on the ball. Tyler Frost being able to come off the bench. I mean, he was a shoe-in to start, wasn't he, a few weeks ago? Had to miss out last week, unfortunately, but came off the bench to get another goal. And I think the goals can be spread right across the side, which is maybe something we haven't had in the past couple of seasons. It's been too much of a reliance on, the strike force, and maybe last season Lubala chipping in from midfield. But this time I think there's goals right across the pitch. And you mentioned George Frankham. It was another great performance from him on Tuesday night. Absolutely still bombing forward at 3-4-0, trying to get forward to get himself either on the score sheet again or provide an assist to get another goal for the side.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at our opposition this afternoon, Cambridge have shocked a lot of people with their start to the season. I mean, they have had obviously Wes Houlihan is big, but I don't think he hasn't played in the last few weeks. I think he's been injured. But like someone like Paul Mullen, who's played a lot of games at Morecambe, maybe not set the world alight, but he seems to have settled in very early this season at Cambridge, and he's scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, I spoke to the Cambridge media team because I know 1 or 2 of them, relatively well from speaking on social media and things. And when we've gone to the Abbey Stadium, they seem to think that the manager is, much like John has done and we've spoke about before, has brought in some great experience. He's brought in some great youth, and everything has blended very quickly for them. And they said they're not overly surprised by the start that they've made. They could sort of see it coming with the nucleus of the side at the back end of last season, and it's just continued. And the likes of Mullin coming in, although there is talk that he may not be playing today, that might just be sort of trying to hype things up a little bit. But I think the interesting thing today, Joe, is going to be they are the top scorers in the league, and Crawley are the second top scorers in the league. So maybe I'm setting it up for a 0-0 draw completely. But they're also the best defence in the league. They've only conceded 5 times. So it's going to be a very, very tight one. Cambridge, maybe surprisingly to their fans, are doing really well at the top of the table. Let's see if they can maintain it, because obviously Morecambe were top of the table when they came here a couple of weeks ago, and now their bubble has well and truly burst, and they're slowly slipping down the league, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw a stat earlier on that no team in the 4th tier of English football was, I think it was you actually that retweeted it, that has won 4-0 3 times in a row. Obviously we have won 4-0 last 2 games.
Yeah.
What do you fancy us to do here this afternoon?
I don't think it'll be a 4-0 victory,
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. But I didn't think Tuesday would be a 4-0 victory, and I didn't think it would be a 4-0 victory over Morecambe either. I think this afternoon is going to finish 2-1. I think it's going to be a very, very tight one. Obviously, I'm going to put my Crawley head on and say that it's going to be 2-1 to the Reds. I mean, I think even if they only get a point here this afternoon, if it finishes 1-1, I think 4 points from the last 2 home games will be impressive, and they've still got that fantastic home record to try and preserve, haven't they, dating back to last November. But if I'm going to be really, really positive, 2-1 to Crawley this afternoon.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Gary, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Obviously, you can join Gary over on the iFollow from 3 p.m. this afternoon, where he'll be joined by Tony Vesey, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Tony Vesey will be there with Gary from 3 p.m. Yes, we're back. We're back. And you can hear, well, you won't be able to hear behind me, but Night Boat to Cairo is going on, which, if you saw John Yem's interview earlier on, you realise how funny that is. Anyway, without further ado, we've got Tom, we've got Bruce. It's time for Higher or Lower.
Oh my God, it's Higher or Lower with Talk of the Town.
Okay, so the rules are very simple, but the questions are not. I will give you 5 questions. You need to write on your boards whether you think the answer is higher or lower. Everybody understand?
Understood.
Very simple. Bruce, a few people eagerly anticipating you being here today. Think you're going to be a strong performer? Confident?
Fairly confident.
Don't be too excited about being on the show, will you, Bruce? We're going to need a bit more enthusiasm in your answers. Tom, you're the reigning champ. Confident against Bruce?
Yeah, quietly confident. Yeah.
Quietly confident. Okay, please. A little bit more energy in the room. Come on. Okay, question 1. Crawley drew Tranmere, no they didn't. Crawley drew Torquay in the FA Cup this week and have previously reached the 5th round twice, which is our best result in the competition. But have Cambridge been in the 5th round or further a higher or lower number of times than Crawley's 2? So Crawley have been in twice. Have Cambridge been in the 5th round or further a higher or lower number than twice? Okay, Tom, you have gone.
Gone for lower.
Gone for lower. Bruce has gone higher.
He knows it.
Cambridge made the 5th round twice and the quarterfinals twice, so the answer is higher. Bruce leads 1-0 going into question 2. Okay, question 2. Wes Hoolahan signed for Cambridge United this summer, much to many people's surprise. But in his 323 appearances for Norwich, did he score a higher or lower number of goals than Matt Tubbs did in his time at Crawley? So basically, with higher or lower, did Wes Hoolahan score a higher or lower number of goals for Norwich than Matt Tubbs did for Crawley? Okay, Tom, you have gone lower. Bruce has gone lower as well. Wes Hoolahan got 47. Bruce, you know how many Matt Tubbs got?
Ooh, 60?
57, not bad. Matt Tubbs did it in 83 games. Okay, so it's 2-1 to Bruce, going into question 3. In the last 10 games between today's sides, do Crawley have a higher or lower number of wins than Cambridge? So in the last 10 games, do Crawley have a higher or lower number of wins than Cambridge? Tom, you've gone?
I've gone for lower.
Gone for lower. Bruce has also gone lower. There's been no draws. Crawley have 4, Cambridge have got 6. The answer is lower. It's 3-2. Strong performance from both players here. Still in it, Tom. There's still time. Question 4. In last year's league table, did Crawley finish higher or lower in the league than Cambridge? So did Crawley finish higher or lower than Cambridge in the league last year? Tom, straight down. Bruce, not so confident.
Why not? Nearly gave it away though. Nearly turned it around eagerly.
Okay, so Tom, you have gone
higher.
Higher. Bruce has also gone higher. Cambridge finished 16th. Crawley finished 13th. It is higher. Tom, Bruce just can't catch him, can you? Can't catch him. It's 4-3. Okay, we go to question 5. You need an incorrect answer from Bruce here. It's like a penalty shootout. Question 5. Paul Mullin has scored 13 goals in 15 games for Cambridge. But did he score a higher or lower number of goals in his 122 games for Morecambe? So he scored 13 goals, a league top goal scorer. He scored 13 goals in 15 games for Cambridge. But did he score a higher or lower number of goals for Morecambe, where he played 122 games? So we're looking higher or lower at Morecambe. Okay, Tom has gone
higher, just because I think Bruce might have gone with a different answer.
Okay, Bruce has gone a different answer. Your prediction's correct. He looks very, very confident. You're very pleased with yourself there, Tom. The answer is higher. It was 25. Yes. So we go for the first ever time to a tie break. This is unbelievable tension.
Absolutely love it.
A lot of thought. So yeah, delay the kick-off. So it's 4-4. We have a tie break. The tension in the room, incredible. A lot of thought has gone into the tie break.
Got a tie break question?
Of course I've got a tie break question. I'm planning for every eventuality, Bruce. By car, how many miles is it to Cambridge Stadium from Crawley? Oh. So from here at the People's Pension Stadium to Cambridge's Stadium, how many miles by car? What a tiebreaker. What's wrong with that question? Okay, so you got a number this time. Okay, Tom has gone
95.
95. Bruce has gone 115. Two very good guesses. One is 14 out, one is 6 out. I can confirm it's 101 miles. Tom is the winner. He wins on a tie break. Very strong game of high or low this week. Bruce, you did well, but you fell at the last hurdle.
Well, good luck to Tom in the next round, whoever he's playing.
You go again at Brighton, I'm sure they play nonsensical games like this in the Premier League. Tom, congratulations, well done to you.
Ecstatic.
Now, for more, if you thought that was nonsense, it's time for Kiosk Ken's Deal of the Week. Ooh.
Good afternoon, Kiosk Ken here again to show you this week's special offers in the club shop. Obviously we've still got the cufflinks on offer at £4 until Tuesday, so we still have a few cufflinks left, a few sets, so if you want to pop into the shop, obviously they're going to be readily available till Tuesday. But this week's special offer is the babies kit. Now the babies kit is a special offer at £30 for non-members or non-season ticket holders, I say, and £25 for season ticket holders. They're normally 35 and 30. So we need to get into the shop, see my glamorous assistant, Keol Kath. Oh, sorry, it meant to be whatever her name is. Anyway, pop in and see Kath in the shop, and they're making me laugh. Pop in and see Kath in the shop, 30 and 25 for this 1 week till next Saturday. Get in there. That's a cock up.
Yes, we're back, and that is all we've got time for the show. Of course, you can get over to the iFollow, watch the action. Please support Ballers if you can. If you're in Reds, Ballers offer is there. Please speak to Rona and get an order in. We are doing our match day deal of £5 for a burger, chips, and a can of drink. Thank you very much for joining us. I said at the start of the show that my unbelievable song was missed because of sound technical problems here in the Far Signs pod. But don't panic, I'll give it to you at the end. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Talk of the town, episode 9. Yemzi's got us playing the way we should. Oh yeah. Something tells me that show was pretty good. Come on you Reds! What a show! If you enjoyed it as much as we did, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you can be notified about when we are next live here from Talk of the Town. Make sure you don't ever miss an episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you again very soon.